Good morning, girls. Today we'll be starting with the first chapter of civics, rural local self-government. Now, what do you mean by a local self-government? They are the local bodies which take care of and manage the local affairs, and the members of these local bodies, they are elected by the local people. So here in this chapter we'll be learning about the local self-government of India. So we'll start with the chapter Local Self-Government. Many people live together in a neighborhood, village or city. When they live together, they need an organization to govern their community and provide public utilities like drinking water, electricity, schools, hospitals and roads. These public utilities are called civic amenities. Now you know, when people live together in any place, whether it is a village or a city, they need to have some certain facilities, basic facilities such as drinking water, electricity, schools, hospitals and roads. These are some basic facilities every village or city has to have. So these utilities, these public utilities are known as civic amenities, and it is a duty of the organization. An organization has to be there to take care of these public utilities, to ensure that every person has access to these utilities. It is a responsibility of the government to provide these civic amenities to the people. So the government is responsible to provide these utilities, these public utilities to the people. The government has to ensure that every person has access to these public utilities or the civic amenities. The government is formed by the people of a community. The people elect their representatives and the representatives form the government. So the government, it is formed by the community people. The people of the community, they elect their representatives and these representatives form the government. In other words, people themselves govern their community through their representatives. That is why this system is known as local self-government. So the people in the community, they elect their own representatives and these representatives govern the community. These representatives rule the community. This is why the system is known as a local self-government, because the representatives are elected by the community people and these representatives govern the community. So they are self-governing themselves, and hence the system of government is known as a local self-government. In the rural areas, the system is carried out by the panchayats, and in the cities by the municipalities. So in the rural areas, in the village areas, we have the panchayats to carry on the self-government system, and in the cities we have the municipalities. Advantages of local self-government. Now we look into the advantages. What are the advantages of having a local self-government? India is a vast country with a large number of villages, towns and cities. Therefore, it is not possible for the central or the state governments to look after the needs of every village and city. Hence, the need for local self-government. So, you all know that India is a very vast country. We have large number of villages, towns and cities. It is made up of thousands of villages, towns and cities. So it is not possible for the central or the state government to look into every village or every city. The central government or the state government cannot look into every village. So we have the local self-governments. We have the local self-governments to look into each city or each village which is under the local self-government. Now we'll look into the advantages of the local self-government. The advantages of the local self-government are: the local people know the problems faced by the people in their area. Hence, they are in a better position to solve their problem. Now we learnt that the local self-government, it is formed by the representatives who are elected from the community. Now these representatives who are elected from the community, they are well aware of the problems which people face in that particular area. Since they are aware of their problems, these representatives, they are capable of taking decisions and solving these problems which the people face in the area. So this is the first advantage. They can solve the problems which people face in the particular area. The local people want the development work like building of schools, hospitals, roads, laying of water pipes, etc. to be completed quickly. So they understand the need to pay taxes for the completion of such projects. Now the local people, they are aware that the development works, all the construction works like the building of schools, hospitals, roads, etc. Such development works has to be completed quickly. They cannot put any lag to these construction works. So in order to complete these constructions work quickly, they need finance, they need money to complete these works. So the local people, the local representatives, they are aware that they need to pay taxes to complete such projects. So this is another advantage of the local self-government. They have the ability to complete the construction work faster. Now the next advantage, by participating in the local government, local people learn to solve their problems themselves and become self-reliant. So when people participate in the local government, these people, they learn about their problems and they learn how to solve these problems, how to bring a solution to these problems, and by solving their problems on their own, they become self-reliant. Self-reliant means self-sufficient. They learn the ability to solve their own problems. The people develop initiative and the spirit of improving their lot through cooperation. So the local people, they are well aware of the importance of teamwork and cooperation. Now since they are aware of the importance of teamwork and cooperation, it helps them to develop and improve their own abilities through cooperation. So that is another advantage of having local self-governments. The local government lightens the burden of the central and the state governments by providing civic amenities at the local level. Now we have the central and the state governments. It is not possible for the central and the state governments to look into all the matters at the local level. It is not practical that the central and the state government look into the local level, look into the matters of the local level. So the local government helps the central and the state government in this matter. It lightens or it reduces the burden of the central and the state governments by providing all the civic amenities, all the basic facilities in the local level. The local representatives gain experience by working in a small area, which later on helps them in running the state or central government. Most of the state and the central leaders that we have today, they began initially as local representatives. Now when they are at the local level, they learn many things and they gain experience by working in this small areas. So with this experience, they are capable of running or governing the state or the central governments in a much effective manner. So these are the advantages of the local self-government. Today we learnt about the civic amenities, about the local self-government, what is meant by a local self-government, and the advantages of local self-government. So we'll stop for today, girls. Thank you.